For 30 years, the Toyota RAV4 has been the automotive equivalent of beige. Reliable, practical, completely forgettable. It's the car your accountant drives, the one you rent at the airport, the SUV that never once made you feel anything. So when Toyota announced they were handing the RAV4 to their racing division, the same team behind the GR86, the GR Corolla, the GR Supra, the internet lost its mind. Half the enthusiast community called it a gimmick, a badge job, marketing dressed up as performance. They were wrong.
This is the 2026 Toyota RAV4 GR Sport, the most powerful, most aggressive, most polarizing RAV4 ever built. Today, we're breaking down everything: the performance numbers we actually tested, the features Toyota gave it, the ones they inexplicably didn't, and whether this car is actually worth your money over the loaded XSE trim sitting right next to it on the lot. Let's go.
Here's something most people don't know about the RAV4. It's the best-selling non-truck vehicle in America. Not one of the best, the best. Toyota moves over 400,000 of them a year. It's been printing money for Toyota for 3 decades. So why mess with it? Because the people buying RAV4s are getting younger, and younger buyers aren't satisfied with sensible. They want utility and personality. They want the Mazda CX-5's driving feel, the Hyundai Tucson's tech, and somehow Toyota's bulletproof reliability all in one package. Toyota's answer was to go all in on electrification for the 6th generation RAV4. Every single trim is now hybrid or plug-in hybrid. No more gas-only option. That alone is a massive industry statement from a brand that's historically been cautious about full electrification. But the GR Sport? That's a different conversation entirely. That's Toyota saying, we can do both, reliable and exciting, efficient and fast. The question was whether they actually pulled it off. Spoiler, mostly yes.
Pop the hood, and here's where things get genuinely interesting. Toyota's 5th generation hybrid Synergy drive pairs a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder with not one, but 3 electric motors. 2 up front, 1 dedicated entirely to the rear axle. That's how you get all-wheel drive with 0 physical connection between the engine and the rear wheels. Pure torque delivered electrically on demand. Combined output, 324 horsepower. And here's what that feels like. You floor it and the response is immediate. Not turbo lag immediate, not wait for the revs to build immediate. Instant. Like the car was already moving before your brain finished the thought. 0 to 60, 5.3 seconds. Tested on flat ground in a family SUV that weighs 4,400 pounds. That's a full 1.5 seconds quicker than the Mazda CX-5 Turbo, quicker than the Lexus NX plug-in hybrid, and on a good launch, quicker than the GR Corolla Automatic. Let that sink in. The RAV4 is faster than the GR Corolla.
What makes this powertrain feel different from older Toyota hybrids is the electric bias. You feel the motors first, the engine fills in later, and honestly, you barely notice when it does. The transition is seamless. No drone, no lurch, no traditional CVT rubber band sensation. Toyota's clearly learned a lot from their EV development work, and it shows directly in how this car accelerates. One note, on an aggressive launch, the front wheels will fight you a little. You feel a slight tug at the wheel because the gas engine pushes through the front axle, while the electric motor handles the rear independently. It's not dangerous, but if you've never felt torque steer in a system like this, it'll catch you off guard the first time.
Okay, quick question before we go further. Did you ever think you'd hear the words GR-tuned RAV4 and actually care about what that means? Because 6 months ago, I didn't either. Here's what Gazoo Racing actually did to this car. They retuned the dampers, quickened the steering ratio, added structural bracing through the chassis, lowered the whole ride height by about 1/2 inch, which gives you roughly 6 inches of ground clearance. Not off-road territory, but enough for everyday use. What you feel behind the wheel is a RAV4 that listens. You turn in and it follows. You push it through a sweeping corner and it stays planted rather than washing out into understeer like the standard model. There's an eagerness to it, a tightness that no previous RAV4 has ever offered. Is it a track car? Absolutely not. It's not even trying to be.
But it's finally in the same conversation as the Mazda CX-5 and CX-50 for driving dynamics, which for this segment is genuinely impressive. The Mazda has been the handling benchmark in compact crossovers for years. The RAV4 GR Sport just showed up to challenge it, and then embarrassed it in a straight line. The ride quality is the real balancing act here. GR didn't go too stiff. Long highway drives are still comfortable. Road imperfections don't jar you. Toyota was clearly trying to preserve the livability that made the RAV4 successful in the first place, and they mostly nailed it. If there's one criticism of the handling, it's that the steering could use more feedback. You feel the grip, but you don't quite communicate with the road the way you do in a CX-50 or even a Volkswagen Tiguan R-Line. It's engaging without being truly connected. Toyota got it to 80%. The last 20% would have made this genuinely special. Before we go further, let's talk about what this thing looks like, because it matters. The GR Sport gets a completely redesigned front end exclusive to this trim. Wide open intakes, gloss black everywhere, a GR badge sitting center in the grille. The hood is reshaped with sharp creases and functional vents. It looks aggressive in a way that the regular RAV4 simply doesn't attempt. Out back, there's a functional rear spoiler. Toyota claims it generates actual downforce, though they stayed quiet on exactly how much, and a more aggressive diffuser below the bumper. The wheels are a two-tone black pearl 5-spoke design, 20 inches, unique to this trim. Combined with the lowered stance and wider-looking body, the GR Sport genuinely looks like it was designed for a different buyer than the standard model. And this color, supersonic red with the black roof, is exclusive to the GR Sport. $925 extra, and it's the kind of red that makes people look twice in a parking lot, not because they recognize the badge, because the car itself commands attention. This is the first RAV4 in 3 decades that looks like it has a point of view.
Real talk. If you're shopping right now and your budget is around $50,000, which do you choose? GR Sport for the driving dynamics and the looks, or XSE for the full feature list, including panoramic sunroof, ventilated seats, and JBL audio? Drop your answer below, because the gap between those two trims tells you a lot about what Toyota got right and what they got wrong. More on that in a minute.
Let's talk about what this car genuinely gets right, beyond the powertrain: the electric range. Toyota rates it at 49 miles. Real-world testing in normal conditions returned just over 50. That's enormous for this class. The Hyundai Tucson plug-in hybrid, 32 miles. The Nissan Rogue PHEV, roughly 25. The RAV4 GR Sport is lapping the competition on electric range before the gas engine even wakes up. What that means practically? Most drivers in America commute under 40 miles a day. If you charge overnight, you could realistically go weeks without touching the gas pump. And when you do need the engine, combined highway efficiency is around 42 miles per gallon. Total range on a full tank stretches past 600 miles. For a daily driver, those numbers are almost unfair to the competition. Inside, the 12.9-inch screen is sharp, genuinely fast, and paired with physical climate buttons directly below it. This seems basic, but it's not. Plenty of competitors have buried temperature controls inside a touchscreen menu, which is genuinely maddening. Toyota resisted that temptation.
The built-in dash cam is standard across most trims, and it integrates with the 360-degree camera system. So if something happens while you're parked, it's already recording from multiple angles. Toyota basically gave you a Tesla Sentry Mode equivalent on a family crossover. Cargo space is a non-issue despite the larger battery. You get a usable trunk, a full-size spare underneath, and a nearly flat load floor when you fold the rear seats. The battery engineering here is legitimately impressive. And without a sunroof, which we'll get to, the cabin is noticeably quieter than the standard RAV4. In EV mode, it's near silent. Long drives feel effortless.
Now, here's where it gets genuinely frustrating, because some of these omissions feel less like engineering decisions and more like someone in a boardroom cutting costs on a nearly $50,000 car. No sunroof, not even a standard single-pane one. Toyota doesn't offer it on this trim at all. On a $51,000 SUV in 2026, that's hard to defend. Competitors at this price, the Hyundai Tucson Limited, the Volkswagen Tiguan, offer panoramic sunroofs as standard. Toyota's own XSE trim offers a panoramic roof. The GR Sport doesn't. The seats are heated but not ventilated. No memory function on the driver's seat. Passenger side is fully manual. These aren't performance trade-offs. They're cost cuts that make an already premium-priced car feel strangely incomplete. The JBL audio system that's optional on the XSE, not available on the GR Sport at any price. You're stuck with the 6-speaker bass system, which distorts at higher volumes. On a car aimed at enthusiasts who care about their driving environment, that's a weird call. The onboard charger is slower than competing trims. Toyota says it's weight savings, but the XSE and Woodland, which are heavier, get the faster charger. The logic doesn't fully hold up. And the fast DC charging port that lets you top up at a public station in under an hour? Also not available on the GR Sport. Other RAV4 PHV trims get it, this one doesn't. The GR Sport trim asks you to pay a premium and accept downgrades and features to do it. Toyota's fix here is simple and obvious. Offer a premium package on this trim. Sunroof, ventilated seats, memory seat, JBL audio. Roll it in for $2,500 to $3,000 extra.
problem solved. Until they do that, the XSE is going to win that argument for a lot of buyers.
Here's the bigger picture, and it's worth understanding. Toyota has spent years taking heat for moving too slowly on electrification. While GM, Ford, and Hyundai were launching dedicated EVs, Toyota kept betting on hybrids. The industry largely called it a mistake. But here's what's happening now. Mass EV adoption has stalled. Charging infrastructure is still inconsistent. Range anxiety is real. And plug-in hybrids, cars that can run on electricity for daily use but never leave you stranded on a road trip, are quietly becoming the most practical choice for most American drivers. Toyota saw this coming. Their hybrid technology is the most refined in the world, built over 25 years since the original Prius. The fifth-generation hybrid synergy drive in the RAV4 GR Sport is a direct descendant of that investment, and it shows.
Meanwhile, Hyundai and Kia are pushing back hard. The Tucson PHEV and Sportage PHEV are strong competitors with more features at similar prices. Volkswagen's Tiguan offers sharper European handling dynamics. Mazda brings the best driving feel in the segment. What Toyota has done is enter all three of those conversations at once: efficiency, dynamics, and performance with a single car. That's not easy, and the fact that they've come this close on the first attempt with this generation is genuinely impressive. Gazoo Racing, specifically, is operating at a different level than most people realize. The GR Corolla won multiple awards in its debut year. The GR86 remains one of the best driver's cars under $35,000. And now they've taken their philosophy, lightweight tuning, suspension refinement, driver feedback, and applied it to the best-selling non-truck in America. That's not a gimmick, that's a strategy.
Let's talk money, because this is where the GR Sport becomes genuinely interesting. Base price, $48,500. My test car, Supersonic Red, roof rails, all-season tires, destination charge, came in at $51,490. Now consider what you're comparing it to. A Hyundai Tucson PHEV Limited, around $51,000. Less power, less electric range, slower acceleration. The Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, around $52,000. More interior space, but significantly slower and less engaging to drive. A Lexus NX 450h Plus, which is Toyota's own luxury equivalent, starts at $62,000 and has less horsepower than this car. The RAV4 GR Sport is quicker than all of them and cheaper than most of them. The trickier comparison is internal. The RAV4 XSE trim starts around $47,000 and can be optioned up to roughly $52,000, so about $500 more than the GR Sport Tester. At that price, the XSE gives you the panoramic sunroof, JBL audio, ventilated seats, head-up display, and faster charging. The GR Sport gives you better suspension tuning, better looks, and the exclusive Supersonic Red. You pay for the driving experience, and you sacrifice the luxury items to get it. If you spend more time commuting than canyon carving, the XSE probably wins. If you want the car that turns heads and actually rewards spirited driving, the GR Sport is worth the trade-offs. And for the record, if Toyota ever offers a proper premium package on this trim, the decision becomes easy. GR Sport. Every time.
I'll be honest with you. When Toyota announced a performance-tuned RAV4, I assumed it was a marketing play. A few suspension tweaks, some red accents, a GR badge, and a premium price tag for the privilege of feeling like you bought something special. I was wrong. The 2026 RAV4 GR Sport is legitimately fast, legitimately efficient, and legitimately the most engaging compact crossover Toyota has ever built. It doesn't just beat competitors on paper, it embarrasses them in a straight line and holds its own where it counts on a winding road. The missing sunroof will bother people. The stripped-out feature list compared to the XSE is a real frustration that Toyota needs to address, and the slower charging speed on a nearly $50,000 plug-in hybrid is hard to justify. But here's the reality. This car is the closest thing to a driver's SUV that Toyota has ever produced at this price, and in a world where most crossovers feel identical from behind the wheel, that matters. The RAV4 GR Sport isn't perfect, but it's the most fun I've had in a family crossover in years, and I didn't see that coming.
If you want weekly deep dives on the cars actually worth your attention, subscribe. Because next week, we're putting another one to the test, and you won't want to miss what happens.